What's up everyone, it's Pixel Drone Wars, and today I'm going to do another build on Necromancer. This will be a double Daggers build, I hope you enjoy it. So, before I get started on the build, I'd like to thank everyone who commented on the video, and even though there were quite some negative comments, and some saying, oh, you done this wrong, you might need to rethink it or something like that. Thank you very much, because now I know what to choose and what to go into. So, thank you. Also, I got like 310 views from this point right now, and I got like 50 views a day. I have no idea how I did this. I didn't even advertise, I only told one of my friends to check the video out. So thanks a lot, that's amazing for a small channel, I guess. So yeah, moving on. You want to press H and go into your skills and traits and open up traits. Now, since this is double dagger build, you want to go on Spite 10, Curses 30, Death Magic 10 and Blood Magic 20, and leave Soul Reaping 0. So for the I don't know what they're called, basically I just chose Spiteful Spirit, Terror on Curses, Chilling Darkness, and then Withering Precision. For Death Magic I chose Greater Marks, for Blood Magic I chose Bloodthirst and Quickening Thirst. Now you will see why I chose Greater Marks. You will see. Alright. Very enthusiastic there. Anyway, someone was asking for what runes I chose, and I said none at the moment, and someone said why didn't you choose any? Well, I was experimenting at that time, and so yeah, that video wasn't very great, but this one will be, trust me. So for the runes I chose only 5 runes, so since the 6th one you don't need, you only make a death note when you go down. It's pretty much useless because you're not gonna die a lot, you're only gonna die. If you're an expert, you're not gonna die at all. If you aren't an expert, you're only gonna die about 2-3 times if you're careful. So I chose the Superior Rune of the Afflicted for whatever armor you want, just because it does a lot of condition damage, poison damage, and it has a nice 15% bleed duration. And the last rune I chose was Superior Rune of Necromancer, just because it has condition damage. For the weapons I chose Sigil of Intelligence, since it does a 100% crit chance when you swap on this weapon. And for the other dagger I chose Sigil of Superior Frailty, just because it has 30% chance on critical to inflict vulnerability for 10 seconds. Now, when you swap weapons you have a 100% crit chance and a 30% chance to actually inflict vulnerability. Now, why you want to have that is because when you go into PvP, openers are always good. Now, I'd recommend you switch to staff at the start and then switch to a dagger quickly before you attack anyone, and you will have like a 30% chance to do some good damage. Now, for the next weapon I chose the staff, and for the staff I chose your next attack will, when you swap this weapon while in combat, inflicts poison for 5 seconds. Now why I done that is because when someone's running away or has low health, you swap to this weapon, you inflict poison, and what poison does is by 33% it decreases their healing. So if they're trying to heal, they will be screwed, and you just play some traps. And that is why I chose to increase the mark area. So for the sea weapons, I didn't worry too much about them because you're not going to do any underwater combat. If you are, I'll run into it the next video. Now for the amulet, I chose Power, Vitality and Condition damage on the PvP Carrion Amulet and the Carrion Jewel. This is your like default amulet, I'm guessing. And for the back accessory, ring and the other ring, I couldn't find any weapons that the merchants were selling, so I'm guessing when you level up you gain items, and I'm only level 4. Now, I might seem like a noob by the level 4, but my friend said I'm pretty good, so yeah. Moving on to the skills, what I chose for the heal is Well of Blood. This heal is all about opinion. I mean, consume conditions, yeah, you could choose that, but I just prefer Well of Blood because you're going to run in one position, because you're not going to stand still like a ranged character. Well, you wouldn't stand still anyway, but yeah, you get my point. For next skill I chose Epidemic, Blood is Power, Signet of Spite, and Lich Form. Now, what you want to do when you open up on someone, or when you have all these skills on cooldown, is cast Signet of Spite, followed by Blood is Power, followed by Feeling Blood, followed by Epidemic. Why you want to do that is because you're going to do tons and tons and tons of dot damage. Now, only use Epidemic if it's like 2v1, 3v1 or a group fight. Now, all this does is just spread conditions and does a lot of damage. Keep in mind that Signet of Spite has a long cooldown, so don't spam this all the time, just spam it in 1v1 situations. Well, yeah. So I chose Lich Form just because it does about 2.1, 2.5k damage when you're in Lich Form, and it's only like auto attack. The skills do moderate damage. Now when I was in a group fight, I think it was about 2 vs 5, 2 vs 6, when I went into Lich Form, I found myself pushing so much that we actually got the two bases. All I did is just spam these things behind them, then my teammates were pushing from the front, they were just cornered, and we just took them all out and captured 2 bases. So use this in group fights, don't use it in 1v1, you will probably get killed. But in group fights this is very very useful and you'll grab a lot of kills and a lot of points. So, as you saw in one of my signets, not signets, I mean, what is this called? Traits. There was a trait which said if you cause blindness, you'll cause frost damage, I think. Yeah, frost damage. And basically what it does, it just slows them, and you're going to use this skill when you're trying to chase someone or when you're just trying to do damage, and they'll have about 3 or 2 conditions. I think it's 3, if I remember correctly. It might be 3. So, moving on to the staff. Why I increase the marks is because of this. When I cast a skill, it does this huge mark, and as I said before, if they're running away, they have no chance. They just have no chance of escaping. They'll just run into your traps. Tons of damage, followed by Signal of Spite, followed by Blood is Power, Epidemic if you have to, and then it will just finish them. They have no chance. So I'll move on to the PvP gameplay right now. Hope you enjoyed this build, and just watch the action.